Up. Hi. See, they come out with interest. If they're watching something, they'd come out like they're munching away the hay now. Do you know what I mean? I was born into this game. My father before me, and his father before him. My grandfather used to buy troopers for the British Army, First World War. And then my own father graduated from him, buying and selling horses. And I graduated from that into racing and riding and training a few. Our big export is selling it. It's a complete cock-up. I was always of the opinion that the Prime Ministers in England were always very well-educated fellas that had a great knowledge of everything else, and I would have thought that David Cameron was a good grasp of everything. But obviously I read him wrong, or he read England wrong, because he was the cause of it. He was the Prime Minister when he put it to the people. And you'd wonder about Theresa May, how clever she is. She needn't have gone to the country for an election, and she did, and she lost. So, I mean, if you have people who think they know what's going to happen, and they get it arseways, there's something wrong. I'd say they're all at the moment now, the 4 or 5 of them that are causing the biggest hassle, are all thinking about what's going to come out of it for them, not for the country. They give you a pain sometimes talking about what's good for the country. I'd say basically, really deep down, it's what's good for me. Dublin Port won't be big enough to hold all the lorries that'll be there on hold getting in. In Dover the other day, they had a trial. Now, everybody who's been caught in the M50 at some stage and knows what it's like to be in a tailback, could you imagine a tailback from where the Phoenix Park racecourse is, you turned off there for City West, right back up to Bray? That's what you're talking about, sitting in a car. And that's bad enough if you're in the car on your own. If you're there with a couple of kids and they're getting anxious, well, the same thing with a horse box. If you're in there and you have mares and foals, when they're moving and the air is flowing and the ventilation is good, but you're parked above the box with a mare and foal or a horse ready to run in a race and maybe the next day, and he's 6 and 7 hours stuck in the traffic, it's going to cause plenty of consternation everywhere, whether it's at the airports or at the Dublin ports or when you get there. It's just aggravation, and I think when you can try to avoid it, whether it's in a family or it's in business or it's in life, the less things you can do to aggravate people, the happier we'll all be. And a happy nation is usually a prosperous one. In whatever walk of life, to go back is not a good thing, and I think this is going back. And that's not good. I mean, England over the years were a powerful nation. For such a small country, they became a very powerful nation. And they created a lot of acrimony everywhere in lots of countries. And they're responsible for a lot of the troubles that they're now facing themselves. At the moment, 10 of the best stallions in Europe stand here in Ireland. And 80% of the horses that we breed here are exported to England. And 90% of the breeders in Ireland have less than 5 mares. I mean, the huge big organisations might be able to financially put up with it, but a lot of the lesser fellas are going to be on their bended knees. It's only when it starts hitting your pocket that you really feel the pain. You'll feel the pain, and what's really kicking you is it's not of your making. It's the English again. And there'll be fellas saying, those so-and-sos, look where they have us again. They have us on our bended knees once again. And that's going to cause more aggravation. And there's nothing, I mean, we didn't make this scenario, but we're going to pay for it, and I have no doubt about it, because we rely on them. They've been good neighbours, but we rely on them for most of our exports and a lot of our imports and a lot of jobs for people. They've been a good nation, but they have invariably been able to kick us up the rear end whenever they wanted to. To me, the most important thing in life is good health. And as long as I have good health, both of mind and of body, I think I'll face anything. I'm not a whinger, and I think I'll get on with it. I think I'll get over it and get around it or get under it or whatever has to be done. We'll get over Brexit. We got over worse, and we'll get over Brexit as well too. We have a good old setup here. It suits grand. It'll be Katie's when I close my eyes, and she's great. She's a great worker, and she's a great knowledge of it all and a great love of it all. Now, it's a hard life, but it's a good life. It's something I love doing, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. And so long as the Lord spares me and my health stays with me, I'd like to go out of here in a 6x2. Hello, 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 hello.